chaos of this world is vast and unknowable. All of us here. What do you really want? Mostly depends on who you're standing next to.
I'm explaining a film from 2016 titled The Bad Batch. Spoilers ahead. Enjoy the content. The scene begins by showing a female prisoner named Arlen who has just been thrown into a prison called Bad Batch. Regarding the BB 5040 mark, it explains that she is the 5040th prisoner. A prison located in the middle of a vast desert. In this prison all prisoners are free to choose their own way of life. They are free from applicable laws so they can do anything. Arlen kept walking until she found a parked car. She approached the car but unfortunately the car was damaged and could no longer be used. Arlen instantly fled as a car approached her, but she was apprehended by the strange person. Someone came up and injected something into her palm when she discovered she was already at a place and in a condition of shackles. It turned out to be an anesthetic shot to keep Arlen from feeling pain as her hand was going to be severed. They also severed one of her legs. The guy who brought Arlen's chopped hands and feet to cook later revealed that she is now in a cannibal base where they subsist by consuming the flesh of other inmates. The cannibal headquarters was led by a man named Miami Man. At night Arlen was dying to defecate and then rubbed her feces on her body so that those who approached her felt disgusted. The woman also intended to clean up Arlen. That's where she took advantage of the situation and secretly took a crowbar that was going to be used to attack the woman. Her effort was effective, and Arlen quickly finished off the lady, while the other chained inmates rejoiced at her conduct since it allowed them to exact their vengeance. Arlen attempted to flee the cannibals' base camp with one hand and one leg until she discovered a skateboard that could be used to assist her go faster. She too avoided that location without a specific reason, but now a new problem had arisen. She was terribly thirsty and severely dehydrated, and she was quite weak and could do nothing but succumb. Shortly thereafter someone came with a trolley, then that person put her on the trolley and took her away. They walked very far until they arrived at a place called Comfort. At the gate the guards of Comfort immediately took over Arlen and were about to be treated while the person who took her immediately went somewhere. Arlen has begun to recuperate and is more alive 5 months later. She even has a job assisting inhabitants of the Comfort trade. It is known that the inhabitants of the Comfort are also convicts, such as Arlen, who come from diverse situations, but they continue to strive to live their lives as human beings with dignity as best they can. Meanwhile, despite his intimidating appearance, Miami Man appears to be a loving father to his kid. So, sadly, he also provides meals to his daughter. However, the menu consists of meat from new inmates because he and his minions only consume human flesh. It is in this base camp that the new prisoners will be sacrificed and then killed and their flesh consumed by them. The next day, Miami Man's daughter will take a walk with one of her maids. Meanwhile, Arlen is now able to buy prosthetic limbs and a gun just in case. She went out for a walk while practicing shooting. By chance she saw the vehicle that had taken her before. She deduced that they were cannibals who had devoured her hands and feet. When she approached them, it turned out to be Honey, the daughter of a Miami Man and his maid. Without thinking, she immediately finished off the maid.
Do what you want. I'll do it.
But Arlen couldn't bear to kill Honey because she was still small. Honey herself wasn't surprised by this situation because every day she always witnessed someone being shot. Arlen then took Honey to the sanctuary. The scavenger who used to aid Arlen noticed her strolling with a tiny child. Arlen bought Honey a bunny when she arrived at the Comfort. Arlen intended to treat Honey as if she were his own kid, but when his daughter does not return, the Miami Man travels to the landfill where his maid took Honey earlier. The Miami guy only discovered the maid's death, but Honey was nowhere to be seen, of course since Arlen had abducted her. He feared considerably more until he saw the scavenger, at which point he asked the man if he had seen his daughter while displaying Honey's face painting. The scavenger was aware that Miami Man was looking for his daughter whom he had previously seen with Arlen, but before telling him, the scavenger asked him to paint it first. Miami Man immediately agreed. After finishing painting the scavenger, he told the Miami Man that his daughter was in comfort. Arlen and Honey are becoming closer and spend a lot of time together. Arlen invites Honey to a nighttime party held by the leader of the Comfort. He is the leader of the Comfort's fantasy. He is the one who inspires his followers to live their lives with dignity, and the dream also develops its own money that can only be utilized in the comfort zone. His followers were so taken by the dream that Arlen, who was only there for a short time, got late and stoned with the rest. Arlen was so inebriated that she was separated from Honey, which coincided with the rabbit's release. Honey kept looking for her rabbit until she finally met the dream and his wife, then Honey was taken by them to their house and seemed to be taking care of her. Arlen, who was drunk, kept walking until she didn't realize she had walked far enough and crossed the border. The next day, when she realized that there was a Miami Man in front of her, he took Arlen's prosthetic leg and asked about his daughter's whereabouts. Arlen also pretended not to know and did not know his daughter at all. Then the Miami Man told Arlen to look for his daughter in Comfort. If she failed to find her then he would kill her. A huge, black man emerged not long after and approached them, holding something. It came out that the man intended to trade with the Miami Man, specifically trading the jerry can of gasoline he was carrying with Arlen for the meal that would be served tonight. The Miami Man consented and turned over Arlen to the man. The man was pleased to take Arlen, but the Miami Man evidently lied because after a few feet, he threw a knife at the man many times till he murdered him. Because he was short of food, the Miami guy instantly sliced the man's body into multiple parts. In the end, he managed to get fresh meat, a jerry can of gasoline and Arlen herself. The two of them got even closer because the Miami Man really needed someone like Arlen. He treated her gently and affectionately. At night they rested while grilling the man's flesh. Earlier, Arlen asked what caused Miami Man to go to jail. He said that he had become an illegal immigrant from Cuba to America and he had also been in prison since he was 13 years old. Then Arlen also asked about the code printed on his neck. Apparently it was just a diversion so Arlen could take his gun. A man in Miami dared her to plunge the knife into his body, but he was shot from behind. When it was discovered that the individual who shot him was a prisoner from the Miami Man camp, the man instantly snatched the motorcycle and Arlen rushed to safety. The prisoner who brought Arlen was the 5,824th prisoner, which meant that just a few days after Arlen arrived, the jail had added roughly 1,000 inmates. Arlen began to question the fate of her life in the future, as the number of individuals entering this dreadful jail increased. She could deduce that a Miami Man became a cannibal in order to keep this prison stable from overpopulation. Arlen also decided to look for Miami Man. After walking far enough she still couldn't find him. She only found a picture book belonging to Miami Man where one of them was a picture of Honey, his daughter. Arlen thought that Miami Man had returned to his base. On the other side, the scavenger discovered Miami Man unconscious someplace distant from where he was shot previously. The scavenger eventually assisted the Miami guy, treating his wound and feeding him until he healed. After completely recuperating, Miami Man thanked the scavenger and let him go of his base without fear of being hurt. Meanwhile, Arlen continued her search for Honey, bringing her photographs and questioning everyone at the hospital, but no one has seen the small child. Until Arlen spotted Honey with the dream's wife one day. It turns out that the child is now considered their own child by the dream couple. They are treated very well and they love her very much. When night falls, Arlen is determined to enter the dream's house. It turns out that all this time the dream has had many wives and made them all as guards in his house. And the funny thing is that all of his wives are pregnant. Arlen apparently also has the desire to be married to the dream while he really has hopes of marrying all the beautiful women in his area, so he immediately agrees to her request. The dream immediately asked one of his wives to prepare a room for Arlen, but apparently Arlen was only pretending. In fact she only wanted to take Honey by acting to be the dream's wife. The dream then allowed Arlen and Honey leave the home safely after pointing a gun at the dream's wife as a threat to flee. Arlen instructed the dream's wife to exit the vehicle as she resumed her journey with Honey. Then she met the Miami guy, who was overjoyed because he would be able to see his only daughter again. The Miami guy then advised Arlen to return to Comfort so she could continue to live a respectable life. Arlen replied that she would not return since they would not allow her return because of the situation that had occurred when Honey was abducted. After hearing this, Miami man decided to take Arlen to his base. Honey, who was feeling hungry, suddenly asked for spaghetti. This was very different from when she was still living with her father, who always consumed human flesh. While the Miami man himself couldn't grant it, he finally took Honey's favorite rabbit which was used as food. Even though Honey was crying, she still ate the rabbit meat because she was hungry. They finally live happily together, along with the end of the film. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you want to stay updated with recaps of our latest films. Your support would be appreciated. I hope to see you next time.